This is a 3-in-1 video. A lot of updates for you. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your #1 source for everything It Ends With Us saga. This is not a good way for Justin Baldoni to start the week. The original director of It Ends With Us has just been sued again because of the salad spinner. A lawsuit was just filed today, also in the Southern District of New York, by Harco National Insurance Company. They did business with his Wayfarer Studios and claim that Baldoni and company lied to the insurers. So they filed this lawsuit to legally be off the hook and not have to pay for the copious Wayfarer legal bills. The insurance company is seeking a declaration that its insurance policies for Wayfarer are not enforceable. His company took out 2 separate year-long insurance policies for the film. One effective from July 15th, 2023 until July 15th, 2024, and a second one effective from July 15th, 2024 until July 15th, 2025. Those of us who know the numbers, math, the dates. As the insurance company notes in their lawsuit today, Lively and others complained of sexual harassment during pre-production and production of the film as early as May of 2023, before they entered into the agreement with the insurance company. The complaint says, despite the acknowledged pre-July 2023 complaints by Lively and others, Wayfarer's July 2023 application for the 2023 policy includes a letter from Wayfarer which warrants that no person or entity for whom the insurance is intended has any knowledge or information of any act, error, omission, fact, or circumstance which may give rise to a claim which may fall within the employment practices liability coverage if issued by Harco. They were aware of a big B. Blake. Major problem. The 2023 warranty also states that, quote, it is agreed that if such knowledge or information exists, any claim arising therefrom, whether or not disclosed herein, is excluded from the proposed coverage. And Harco says that when Wayfarer went to apply for a second year-long policy in 2024, they once again failed to inform them of all the drama on the movie. And here's the wildest part. Even though Wayfarer was legally obligated to let the insurance company know of the drama with the uncredited director of It Ends With Us, they didn't. And that nullifies their insurance policies, Harco says. However, despite the basement manager filing her lawsuit in December of 2024, Baldoni and Wayfarer didn't give notice of her lawsuit until April, just a few months ago. And at that time, they had the audacity to ask for indemnity under the 2024 policy. Y'all, I've said this time and time again. I'm not Team Baldoni. I'm clearly not Team Lively. I am Team The Truth. And if what this insurance company is saying is true, that's a real bad look for the Wayfarer parties. Understandably, obviously, After the Wayfair company asked for indemnity under its 2024 policy, Harco, whom at that point, April of this year, was fully well aware of all the drama that happened, because, hello, they pay attention to the news. Harco denied the claim. In a letter last month, the insurance company explained that there are circumstances that may wholly or partially limit coverage. Justin Baldoni is personally named as one of the defendants in Harco's just filed lawsuit, as are It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Wayfair CEO Jamie Heath, and Wayfair co-founder and co-chairman Steve Sarowitz. Now, let's park aside this major allegation not being a good look. There is some good news. As I've told you previously, my sources tell me exclusively that, and actually, this has been mentioned in legal filings from Team Plantation Pinocchio. The unliftable Blake Lively has already shared publicly, after I told you, that Steve Sarowitz, the billionaire, is bankrolling all of Justin Baldoni's legal bills. All of the Wayfarer parties, every single one of them, the defendants, don't have to pay the millions upon millions, possibly over $10 million in legal fees by now. Yeah, it's crazy expensive. That's one of the reasons why I'm representing myself in Subpoena-gate. For years, I have been represented by Brian Friedman, Justin Baldoni's lawyer, because I needed the best. But I'm going to handle Subpoena-gate myself, because I don't want to pay for the best. Because as I've said, I'm not being sued. I'm just being subpoenaed. And worst case scenario, nothing bad will happen to me. I've thought this through. And that's update number 1. Update number 2. The lip nibbler and Baldoni's former digital samurai, Jed Wallace, are fighting it out in Texas. Jed Wallace was recently dismissed from the high school graduate's lawsuit in New York in federal court because of lack of jurisdiction. But his litigation against her continues in Texas, where he filed a lawsuit first and where he lives and works. Wallace just recently filed a motion for an order requiring the parties to confer and submit a proposed scheduling order to the court. My takeaway from that was, I'm pretty confident that the shampoo company owner didn't think that Jed Wallace would be dismissed from her lawsuit. So she made no progress to move things along in Texas. And after he was dismissed in New York, Jed Wallace said, hello, let's get this over with. Well, today, Blake Lively has filed a response to that motion for an order requiring the parties to confer and submit a proposed scheduling order. Her Texas attorney says both parties agree with requesting that the court hold an initial status conference. Despite this, plaintiffs have filed a motion to compel, asking the court to mandate that the parties engage in a Rule 26F conference for the sole purpose of starting discovery in a case over which many threshold issues remain pending. Whether the first to file rule demands dismissal, whether there is personal jurisdiction over Miss Lively, whether venue is proper in this district, and whether the plaintiff's sole defamation claim has merit. Pause. If the judge said that jurisdiction is not applicable in her trial in New York, it has to happen in Texas then, right? Today's response continues saying, Judge Lyman has squarely addressed the merits of the claim brought by plaintiffs herein for defamation arising out of Miss Lively's filing of a CRD complaint and held that there is no cognizable claim for defamation because the statements made therein are privileged as a matter of law. Plaintiffs, Jed Wallace and his street relations, further refer to their multiple attempts to engage Miss Lively's counsel in a conference when counsel has heard nothing from plaintiffs since the week of June 16th, when counsel was out of the country. Instead, plaintiffs have focused their attention on the first filed case in the Southern District of New York, engaging in a multitude of filings involving discovery disputes and refusing to produce Wallace for a deposition. So Jed Wallace has not been deposed yet. And they got real spicy in a footnote after revealing that, saying in the footnote, plaintiffs have repeatedly represented in the Southern District of New York that Plaintiff Wallace's current health condition prevents him from fully engaging in discovery, which further begs the question of why the rush to start discovery in this case. Saying one thing there and another thing here. Oh, this is ridiculous. They're now bringing up the floods that happened. Oh, my God. Delulu's lawyer says, in the intervening time in Texas, the Hill Country, most specifically Hunt, Texas, in Kerr County, experienced catastrophic flooding resulting in the loss of more than 100 lives. Lead counsel for Miss Lively has family and property and, like others, has lost people she knows in the flood-ravaged community of Hunt, Texas. Still, after a month of silence, plaintiff's counsel reached out by email on July 17th, imposing an arbitrary deadline for a response of the next day at noon, despite being advised that counsel was out of town with intermittent connectivity. Fortunately, Miss Lively's counsel was able to respond to the arbitrary demand by noon the next day. Plaintiffs, Wallace and Street Relation, responded by filing an unnecessary and mislabeled motion to compel. As previously indicated, Miss Lively does not oppose an initial status conference with this court. What she does oppose is starting discovery at this time, while preliminary issues of jurisdiction and venue are yet to be decided, and when Judge Lyman has ruled that defamation claims arising out of Miss Lively's CRD complaint, the exact claim raised herein, lack merit and cannot survive a Rule 12b-6 motion. Respectfully submitted. So yes, I am monitoring and will keep you updated on all the Texas drama. And finally, our third update. A new article claims, quote, Blake Lively's life in hiding. Allies tell why she doesn't want to be seen out and who she's leaning on as famous friends desert her. All right, my friend, that is all. This is a lot. Let's discuss everything, including the insurance drama, in the comment section